Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Haynes, a writer and co-founder of NINJIO, also writer-producer of hit TV shows CSI New York and Hawaii Five-0.
And I'm Zack Schuler, founder of NINJIO.
So, Zack, as you know, this month's episode of NINJIO focuses on social media account cloning, which, much to our surprise, resulted from something that happened to you.
Yeah, Bill, unfortunately, this was a pretty disappointing event for me. What had happened was a couple months ago, I got a follow request from somebody whom I did not know. I looked at the request and I looked at that person's profile and I saw 7 photos up there. And each photo was a picture of me that had been lifted off of my personal Instagram account, which unfortunately for a period of time I had as public. What really made it worse was the fact that when I looked at this guy's profile, it had about 3,000 followers. So this was not an account that was just set up, the day before or the day before that. This was a work in progress for some time. And I, quite frankly, was bewildered by it.
Yeah. Now, you said you had your account set to public. That's surprising to me, as I'm sure to many people. Given all the episodes we've written and produced that stress the importance of having your private profiles set to private viewing only, what would cause you to go against your own advice?
It was this confidence that I had that obviously I shouldn't have been confident of, that no one would be able to scam me through having my public profile up. I wasn't scared of anybody dropping a DM to me with a link that I would click on. And so I just sort of had this false sense of security.
Right. Understandable. Yet at the same time, there must have been some upside to having your account set to public viewing. What was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, Bill, I'm sort of like a lot of other people out there, and this is what social media companies, this is why they exist, and that, the more followers I had that you get by having a public profile, the more likes you get, and you get that dopamine hit, that dopamine fix when I get followers and likes, and right? And if you've got your profile public, you get more followers. The more followers you have, the more likes that you have. And so I think I just sort of fell victim to those emotional triggers of attention-seeking behavior and that sort of stuff that we all do. And I just thought that, I was going to be sort of invincible.
That's basically the point of social media, isn't it?
Absolutely. If people didn't get those sorts of feelings from social media, it probably just wouldn't exist today.
Right. I mean, hackers, scammers, bad actors, whatever you want to call them, they're constantly coming up with new, innovative ways of taking advantage of people. The latest trend focuses on manipulating people's emotions, like you mentioned.
That's right.
So we're seeing a huge increase in the amount of emotion-based attack vectors. Now, this guy that cloned your account, there must have been some kind of damage he wanted to inflict on you. What was that?
Well, Bill, that's actually a great question, and it's one that I didn't know the answer to until relatively recently. So about a month ago, I was at a law enforcement event, and some of my FBI friends whom I've met through NINJIO were there, and I showed one of the guys, Mike, I showed him the profile, and he took a look at it, and he said, he saw the photos. The bio of the profile said single. And then as he started looking through the followers, he noticed that many of them were women that were sort of in my age demographic. And he said very pointedly, Zack, this guy is not trying to scam you. He's using you to scam others.
Wow.
And it was at that point where my heart sunk that, my likeness is being used for what was very likely a romance scam. It's just, really disheartening. And I had never kind of envisioned that could happen.
Yeah, that must have been really scary. So what did you do?
I kind of went through the normal sort of channels that people would do, right? I reported the account, said that they were impersonating me. I actually took a screenshot of this guy's profile. I put it up on as a post, and I had asked all my friends to also report this individual's account. And unfortunately, the response that we all got back was that this individual profile was not violating the community guidelines of Instagram. So from there, I went to my law enforcement buddies and said, hey, do you have connections into Meta so that we can get this taken down? And that's still a work in progress. So literally today, this profile is still up.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope they're able to get it taken down soon. For your average person who might not have law enforcement connections like you've established through NINJIO, what would you advise them to do if they find themselves in a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean, considering I wasn't able to get this done on my own accord with the help of, myself reporting it and my friends reporting it, at the end of the day, you just really shouldn't put yourself in that position in the first place, right? We got to remember that the bad guys, they're preying on our emotions. They're preying on attention-seeking behavior. They're preying on greed. They're preying on fear, opportunity, urgency, right? These are all things that they understand, and they understand how to use these things to manipulate people. So at the end of the day, if you're not using your own personal photos and whatnot as part of your business, and that's the way that you earn a living, my advice would be keep your stuff private. Open it up to friends and family, and that's it.
So keep the private accounts private.
That's exactly right.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think my one final thought would be, just looking back at this experience, like no matter how safe you are, how secure you feel you are online with the moves that you're making, you are never 100% secure. Even somebody with my level of knowledge, I am not 100%, secure by these bad actors that are out there, preying on our emotions. And so, just consistently stay on guard while you're online. And I would say consistently remind yourself that you need to stay on guard while you're online.
All right. Well, off of that, if you ever get the urge to do something risky again, why don't you give me a call and I'll remind you of all the stuff you already know, Zach.
All right. Well, thanks, Bill. I will. I'll probably take you up on that.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and stay secure.